Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. By the video title, you know what this video is about. Dive into 5 underrated Steelers entering 2024, entering the season right here. Now, I had this video concept because I saw, of course I've been seeing a lot of stuff, when we see in preseason. I rewatched the preseason game about like 3 or 4 times already. I got looking at different aspects. You first watch it, you watch it live, and you see one thing, but you watch it multiple times again, you kind of see everything. So I've been rewatching it about 4 times, seeing it in training camp as well. As a concept I had probably like a few weeks ago that I wanted to make the video today about the underrated players entering the season. Of course, the big names, of course, is on our team, the TJ Watts, the Minka Fitzpatrick, the Cam Haywards, the Alex Highsmith, and all the different guys like that. You already know those big time names that the Steelers have on their team, of course. But I want to talk about the players who might not be the biggest names, might not be known to the casual fan or casual viewer of the Steelers, but they have potential to probably be very underrated this season to make some big plays for us. And I'm going to start off first. It's not in particular order either. I'm going to start off first with DeMarvin Leal. Now, Leal did shine pretty good in preseason. Leal been on our team for about, what, 2-3 years? I think about 3 years now. It gotta be at least year 3 for him now. He was from Texas A&M. And remember, at Texas A&M, he was very versatile. He's a guy who played interior D-line, and he played on the outside as well. He played on the offensive line. He was a linebacker on the edge as well, like an edge rusher, and depending on what type of defense he was playing like that. So he kind of like manipulated and played through different spots and stuff like that, because the way his body structure is, so he kind of like can fit anywhere. He had the height, but he didn't have like the weight for some positions, but he did have the arm length for certain positions to do certain stuff. So he was a very versatile piece. But now this season, I think the Steelers have officially moved him to offensive linebacker because Marcus Golden has left. So now that 4th spot is kind of people battling out, and we've seen him look very good in pursuit and get a sack too as well against Davis Mills in the Texans game. He had very good get off as well like that. Good bull rush. He's very athletic as well too. So I think he might be a sleeper. He might be a sleeper guy to enter the season. Underrated player. I'm not gonna say he's going out there and putting up 10 sacks, of course, being the second rotation, but I could see him get a few sacks next year, this coming season right here. Be a guy who can be a game changing piece because he has the size and ability, and maybe for the future, you never know. I think the Steelers are still, of course, not only building to win now, but also trying to build to win in the future too as well. You're supposed to build now and also plan to keep your future, safe a little bit. So I think DeMarvin Leal is a guy switching to offensive linebacker is going to help him out a lot, being an edge rusher, just a pure edge rusher, just going after the quarterback. And maybe occasionally you might move him different spots here and there, but mostly focusing on him being just a pass rusher like that. So I think it'll work out well too. So he's a sleeper guy who I've been looking at on the past few days actually too as well, and really the past few years, because I feel like before the injuries kind of got up to him, we were that one season where he was doing a good job getting in there in the rushing attack, and also getting a lot of pass deflections like that, because he has the height too as well, the arm length as well. He was getting his hand up there and disrupting a lot of passing lanes as well too. So I think he might be a big time sleeper. Another guy, of course, is Corey Trice, who's probably on the thumbnail most likely. Corey Trice is an amazing player. I think he's a gem. He's supposed to have been like last year. I think he's supposed to be like kind of ranked around the 4th round-ish, maybe 3rd round to the 4th round-ish in the draft, but he kind of dropped to the 7th round because of the injuries that occurred. Last year he kind of got injured for the whole season as well in training camp, but in college he had some injuries, but people know that his ability, he's like 6'4", I think he's a little taller than me, 6'4"-ish, long arms as well, has the speed to match up a lot against receivers. He has the ability to play not only slot corner, but he can play on the outside as well, play man-to-man, play coverage, can play safety as well. He's one of those pieces you can put all around like that, on queen chess pieces I always mention on defenses. He's one of those type of guys. I think Corey Trice is going to be a big-time player. Him being fully healthy this year, we've seen what he did in preseason. He had a big-time pass coverage grade in preseason, only allowed -2 yards like that, so he did a very good job in that, in pursuit as well. So he's a guy who's not afraid to tackle, put his head down to tackle, not afraid to be physical with receivers as well, and has the height and ability to go up there with receivers. Nowadays a lot of receivers are just, a lot of bigger receivers. And in our division, we have, of course, T. Higgins, who has the height, who's like 6'5", and then you have, of course, Jamar Chase with the speed as well. You got Zay Flowers as well with the speed he has. You also have who else on the Browns? You got the Mark Cooper. You got Jerry Jeudy. I forgot he got traded now too. Jerry Jeudy on the team too. So you got a lot of shifty receivers, some receivers who can work, in man coverage like that, who can get open. So having a guy like Corey Trice, who's going to be utilized a lot. I think, of course, the first 2 guys are going to be JPJ, of course, and Dante Jackson. But I would not be surprised if Corey Trice eases himself to being cornerback 2 at that by the end of the year. And Dante Jackson, him being like a rotational little duo a little bit. We'll see exactly what happens. But Corey Trice is going to be nice. It's going to be nice this season. Just a very versatile piece. Just a guy you can put anywhere like that. So I hope to see him utilized to his fullest abilities this season. Another person, too, who's underrated, Montravius Adams. Montravius Adams been on this team for, he was a Packer before too as well. He been on this team for, I think for like 4 or 5 years, but 4 years right now. He's been 4 years. And he's always been like, he had some injuries here and there like that, but he's always been a solid, consistent piece. That's why the Steelers kept him around. He's a guy who plays interior, who can stop the run like that, who can get after the quarterback too as well from the interior spot. And he's been developing very well like that. You look over like all his he first got here and look over all the seasons he's been here. You see him get better and better every year. I think this year he might be an underrated player for us like that. A guy who can rotate in, make some plays. As you guys know, Cam Hayward is Cam Hayward's what, like 35, 34, 35 years old? Like that. Of course, in real life, it's not really that old, but Cam Hayward is 35 years old, a little older in football, has some injuries and stuff, so you never know. Matreus Adams stepping up, making plays. And, of course, Larry Ogunjobi is a nice player, but he get banged up too a lot, so you never know. So seeing Matreus Adams step up, make plays. Also, of course, Kendall Bennon, different guys kind of like preparing themselves for the next wave of like D linemen and stuff. Also, another person who is underrated, in my opinion, too, is, of course, Deshaun Elliott. Deshaun Elliott, I think, he played pretty solid in preseason a little bit too. Making some plays as well. I noticed him right away because he didn't have any gloves on. He had the little finger tapes, kind of like how Sean Taylor used to have the little finger tapes on his hands and stuff. And he was running around out there going crazy and stuff. And then he also I think he got targeted one time on the sideline, and they called it. They almost threw a flag on it, but it was like, the ball's uncatchable like that. He played the ball well, looked back and got his head around too. So I think Deshaun Elliott is a pretty solid piece, a pretty solid game, because the safety position, the strong safety position, been a position that's been lacking for the Steelers in probably for a little while now. Because you look at Minka been there, of course. Minka being free safety, he is. But look at it, kind of like our strong safety position has been like in and out. A lot of guys in and out, bouncing around. So Deshaun Elliott is what, 26, 27 years old, I think. So he's a guy who's a little younger and who has potential. I think he plays that old school mentality, not afraid to get downhill. He's pretty solid in coverage as well. So I think he might be pretty good. Another guy too I wanted the Steelers to draft. Remember Cameron Kitchens. Cameron Kitchens was a guy too I wanted the Steelers to draft too. I feel like he embodies what a Steeler is a little bit, his play style. But I think Deshaun Elliott is the type of player the Steelers got like that. A safety who is physical, who can play in the run, who also can guard and covers a little bit solidly. So we'll see how he plans out. But I think he's gonna be underrated this year. Of course, another guy will be Herbig. Herbig, of course, another guy who's underrated. As you guys know, Herbig, we know his abilities he can do. Last year he had 3 sacks as a rookie. I think this year he's going to get a bigger role, especially with the Steelers trying to implement keeping guys fresh. TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, of course. I think Herbig has a high motor. He's one of those players, you put him out there, he'll give you 110% effort every single time. And usually when you give a lot of effort, good things usually happen most of the time. So I think Herbig going to be a guy who's out there on the edge, be a high motor, be kind of those game changing the pace type of pieces out there for you. You put him out there in different spots, he make plays just like he did last year. We've seen in preseason a little bit too, getting the pressure to CJ Stroud. And CJ Stroud tried to pump fake him. He just put his hand up there. He didn't fall for the pump fakes. Play smart. Stay on his feet. Put his hand up there, hit him in pursuit of CJ Stroud, and got a hit on him too. So I think Herbig is going to be one of those pieces that be game changer for us, an underrated piece that people might not be talking about a lot, but he's going to be nice. And then last, I'll probably say, it might be already 5, right? You're right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that actually is already 5. Yeah. So that's probably the guys right there. I'm trying to see if anybody else underrated. Dante Jackson can be considered underrated as well because come from the Panthers. A lot of people are not really expecting him to be a big time threat. We've seen him make some plays in training camp, and I think he's gonna get more acclimated a little bit. I think he might be a solid piece, especially not being a number 1. Being a number 2 to JPJ, and he has the speed, of course, and the capabilities of getting downfield with some of the receivers as well. Has good ball tracking as well too. So I think he might be underrated a little bit because people are not really taking him real serious. Dante Jackson's all right, like that. But I think he might go out there and impress some people. Let's see who else. Landon Roberts always go out there and impress people like that too. He's always very good. And Peyton Wilson, of course, he's a rookie. He's a rookie though. Peyton Wilson, I think he's still going to go out there and shine too as well, and be an underrated piece, especially getting him in the 4th round too. So those are probably some of the guys I got on my list that's the 5 underrated Steelers entering 2024. Let me know down below in the comment section down below what you guys think and who you guys have on your list of the underrated players entering the season. And I'll see you guys probably tomorrow on the other channel or my channel. You'll find out anyway. But peace out.